Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Now we did this path in 2 ways, but this one can be done in 3 ways.
Halt! Mortals are not permitted within the walls of Holy Cylon.
So let's do all of them.
My scouts reported no signs of the Mazkin in the Underdeep. It's our best chance to take them unawares.
Too risky. It's likely to be a trap. They could cut us to pieces down there if they knew we were coming.
With all due respect, Armas, I ask that you reconsider. The main passage is strongly defended. Perhaps if you'd allow me to scout further.
Enough! I've made my decision. We will attack down the main passage as planned. The Mazkin will not withstand us.
Sheogorath's blessings upon you. Greetings, stranger. Are you here to help us drive the Mazkin out of Cylon? That's what we call ourselves, the most loyal and honorable servants of Sheogorath. The flame is only lit at the command of Sheogorath, from the altars of rapture and despair within the shrine itself. I'm sure that our Mazel Kana will be glad to help you once the Mazkin are driven from the altar of despair. Alas, we have not seen the altar of despair for many years. It is in the underground part of Cylon, which is controlled by the Mazkin. The Mazkin do not even allow us free passage to worship there, which is one of the many reasons why they are unfit to continue to guard it. It is just there, at the top of these steps. You would pray for the blinding ecstasy, which is the ultimate reward for those in Sheogorath's service? She commands the Oriels here at Cylon. She has just arrived with reinforcements from Brelok to end this stalemate once and for all. Our home and sanctuary here in the Shivering Isles. The treacherous ones, the dark seducers of ill repute, whose every action drags Sheogorath's holy name through the mud. My scouts recently discovered another way through the ruins to the Altar of Despair. The Armasul Kana wants to assault the altar down the main passage, but the Mazkin are expecting us to come that way. They've strongly fortified the main passage against us. If we attacked through the Underdeep, we could take them by surprise. If only Kana would listen to me. An attack down the main passage will end the same as it always does, a glorious defeat. She thinks the Underdeep is a trap. It's true. If the Mazkin knew we were coming that way, we wouldn't stand a chance. But I'm convinced the Mazkin don't expect us to come that way. If we attacked in full force, we could take the Altar of Despair before they had a chance to react. If only I could make Kana see that. For Sheogorath's glory.
Sheogorath's blessings upon you. What is it, emissary? You have... You... Walk... What is it? She is the Gorkedric, commander of the Mazkin here at Cylon. She has never yet been defeated by the Orioles, despite their strength. Walk with our Lord. Begone, mortal. Walk with our Lord. Hail. I am honored to... We are expecting the Orioles to attack any moment. They'll come down the main passage from the Altar of Rapture. They always do. They are overconfident as usual. We have prepared many traps and ambushes. It will be a glorious slaughter. Once the Orioles are destroyed, I will light the flame of Agnon for you. Will you help us defend the Altar of Despair? As you wish, but I advise you to join the winning side if you really want the flame relit. The Orioles will never drive us from Cylon. How may I serve? Hail. Hail. Sheogorath's blessings upon you. The Ari. What is it, emissary? We continue. Walk with... What is... Walk with our Lord.
Now, we did hear all of those dialogues in the previous episode, so there is no need to do them again.
My soul for Sheogorath. It is on the east side of Cylon, which we hold for Lord Sheogorath. The Armazalkana has her command post there. For Sheogorath's glory. My soul for Sheogorath. For Sheogorath's glory. How may I serve? This is no place for a mortal. We are about to join battle against the Mazkin. You'd best stand aside. My pardon, emissary. I am at your service. We are preparing to sweep the Mazkin scum from Cylon. Perhaps Sheogorath sent you to help us. Only the servants of Sheogorath can light the flame, by kindling the altars of despair and rapture which feed the flame. Alas, we hold only the altar of rapture. The treacherous Mazkin hold the altar of despair. We must control both to light the flame. If you help us seize the Altar of Despair from the Mazkin, I will be honored to kindle the flame of Agnan for my lord Sheogorath. The flame is fed from the Altar of Rapture and the Altar of Despair. Only servants of Sheogorath can kindle the altars. Once we capture the Altar of Despair from the Mazkin, it will be my great honor to light the flame for Lord Sheogorath. For Sheogorath's glory. Greetings, emissary. We await your command. The only way to assault the Altar of Despair is down the main passage between the two altars. It will be difficult. The Mazkin have fortified their position, but I am confident that with your help, we can defeat them. Will you help us retake the Altar of Despair and drive the Mazkin out of Cylon once and for all?
Okay, so first let's do this path.
Very good, emissary. With your help, we will rid Cylon of the Mazkin once and for all. Down with the Mazkin! My soul for Sheogorath! My soul for Sheogorath! For Sheogorath! For Sheogorath! For Sheogorath! Death to the Mazkin! For the glory of Sheogorath!
For Sheogorath's glory!
For the Mad God!
Mazkin! For Sheogorath! Atar Mazkin!
For the Mad God!
Atar Mazkin! Mazkin!
For Sheogorath's glory!
For the Mad God! Atar Oriole!
Mazkin! For the Mad God! For the Mad God! For the Mad God!
For the Mad God! Atar Oriole!
Atar Mazkin! Atar
For the Mad God.
Mazkin!
Atar Oriole! My soul for Sheogorath. For Sheogorath's glory. Victory is ours. I have already selected a candidate for the honor of kindling the altar of rapture. I will now claim the honor of victory for myself, here on the altar of despair. The altars can only be kindled by the willing sacrifice of a Mazkin or an Oriole. It is my great honor to release my soul to Oblivion in service to Lord Sheogorath. Farewell. I will not walk these lands for many a year. Go. Thanks to you, the Mazkin have been utterly defeated. For Sheogorath's glory. Thanks to you. Go. My soul for Shay. Go.
Okay, now let's do this differently.
Sheogorath's blessings upon you.
How may I serve? I am honored to assist. Are you ready? I never suspected that Kana had the audacity to try such a risky assault. But we'll teach her to try to take the Mazkin by surprise. We'll cut them to pieces in those corridors. I'll redeploy my forces at once. You return to Kana and lead her into the trap. Once they're destroyed, I will kindle the altars. Good hunting, friend. The altar of rapture will be ours.
Cylon shall be ours. Greetings, emissary. We await your command. The only way to assault the altar of despair is down the main passage between the two altars. It will be difficult. Will you help us? Very good, emissary. With your help, we will rid Cylon of the Mazkin once and for all. Down with the My soul for Sheogorath. For the Mad God. Eta Oriole. Death to the Mazkin. For the glory of Sheogorath. Kill the Mazkin. Eta Oriole. For Sheogorath! Kneel before the saints. Come, beware. For the Mad God! For Sheogorath! For Sheogorath! Comrades, beware! For the Mad God! For the Mad God! Comrades, beware!
Okay, now that was basically it, so let's do this the final way.
Greetings, emissary. We await your command. The only way to assault the Altar of Despair is down the main passage between the two altars. It will be difficult. The Mazkin have fortified their position, but I am confident that with your help, we can defeat them. Will you help us retake the Altar of Despair and drive the Mazkin out of Cylon once and for all? Ah, Miral's beloved surprise attack. A perfect example of why males do not hold command positions. He has failed to consider the risks of his plan. If the Mazkin have prepared an ambush along that route, we would be slaughtered. We're better off storming the main passage, where our superior strength and blade work can come into play. Are you ready to help? Are all males so obstinate? Have I not already told you that I consider that route too risky? What makes you think you can persuade me when my own lieutenant cannot? You've seen this with your own eyes? I must be sure it isn't a trap if I'm to take such a risk. Miral was very convincing as well. Very well, we'll risk it. The Underdeep it is. May Sheogorath's divine madness possess us today. Down with the Mazkin! Death to the Mazkin, for the glory of Sheogorath! Kill the Mazkin! For the Mad God! Kneel before the saints! Kneel before the saints! For Sheogorath! Kill myself for Sheogorath!
Mazkin! For the Mad God!
Kneel for the saints. Eta Oriel before the saints.
For the Mad God!
For the Mad For Sheogorath! For Sheogorath!
For the Mad God!
For Sheogorath! Thanks to you, the Mazkin have been utterly defeated. Go. Victory is ours. I have already selected a candidate for the honor of kindling the altar of rapture. I will now claim the honor of victory for myself, here on the altar of despair. Not at all. It was an honor to carry out such an agreeable duty at the personal command of Lord Sheogorath's personal emissary. Now, it is my even greater honor to die in my lord's service. Farewell. Thanks to you, the Mazkin have been utterly...
You served out the Mazkin with their own medicine. Not the most glorious victory, perhaps. But Cylon is ours at last, thanks to you. Go.
Speak, citizen. Speak quickly, mortal. Speak quickly. Go.
regulars! Order take you! I serve the Lord of Order!
Speak quickly, mortal. Speak, citizen.
You've brought it! The holy flame of Agnon, the fire of inspiration and rapture! If you light the great torch on the mania side of the Cylon, you will be a hero to the people of Bliss, I assure you. You should know that in addition to the adulation of the people of Bliss, there is also a more earthly reward. The hero who lights the great torch for Mania is traditionally awarded the raiment of Arden Sul. Not that this should influence your choice at all. Now, what do you say? Do not think about it. Dream about it. Let your mind soar on flights of fancy. I know you will choose well in the end.
Ah, you burn with the purging fire of Agnon, the flame of truth, the flickering beacon of hope in the gloom of despond. Come, light the great torch for dementia. Illuminate the conspiracies, deepen the shadows. The people of Crucible await their hero. Oh no, you don't want to do that. Don't believe their lies. They are no true friends. Don't you see it? How they whisper behind your back. No, light the torch for dementia, and you'll see how we treat our friends. Dementia takes care of its own. Few know that the hero who lights the torch for dementia is granted the Ring of Intrigue, a boon for those who would gain access to hidden knowledge. Surely you will do what is right, won't you? Yes, let your mind worry at the problem. Let fear and dismay over making the wrong choice sink their talons deep into your brain. It would be a truly come. Yeah. You'll uplift the poor suffer. Yes. You'll up. Yeah. You'll up. You are truly demented, as I always suspected. Release yourself to your secret fears and desires. Let them rule you, as they must in the end. Now, light the great torch as a beacon for those who fear and those who inspire fear. The great torch flares with the light of dementia. All of Crucible will be celebrating tonight. Here, take this. The reward you have earned. Quickly now. It's best if no one knows you wear this. I don't like you, and I don't want to talk to you.
Okay, now let's take another option.
Pleasure.
So, you've decided to light the torch for mania? I knew I saw the glint of true mania in your eyes, my child. Go now, and let the holy flame inspire the people of Bliss to new heights of madness.
I'm disappointed in your choice. You'll find mania to be a fickle friend. I see no reason to talk to you. See you. Yes?
It is a sad day in this fine city. The great torch shines with the pure light of mania. You chose well. In accordance with the ancient tradition, receive now the raiment of Arden Sul in honor of your mighty deed in service to mania. The resonator has been reactivated, and the Isles are no longer open to invasion. Arden Sul works in mysterious ways. Tread the humble path and find enlightenment.
Aren't you off to a good start? That's important. For me. Really, your work is going to save me a lot of time. The Grey March is upon us, and the ordering begins. Armies of order, sweep my realm! Death! Destruction! Then I have to pick up the pieces. And there are always lots of pieces. I don't like it, having to rebuild my realm every era. Sometimes I forget where things go, like New Sheoth. I can never remember where it belongs. You'll change that. Break the cycle. You'll stop Jiggalag, and I'll have my realm to come back to. I've never actually tried that before. Why not? Something has to work. Once I dug a pit and filled it with clouds. Or was it clowns? It doesn't matter, it didn't slow him down. To be honest, it wasn't the best idea. And it really began to smell. Must have been clowns. Clouds don't smell bad. They taste of butter. And tears. But this is all new. A fresh idea. Something I hadn't thought of. Until I did. It's sure to work, even though it might not. Now, you'll need the respect of my citizens. They'll need a leader, someone to look up to when I'm gone. They're the backbone of any great land. Except where their backbone is an actual backbone. Ever been to Malakoth's realm? Oh, nasty stuff. But back to the business at hand. You'll need to control one of the courts of madness. Replace a current duke, or duchess, whichever. That will command respect. The people will rally around you, You'll have their love, their admiration, their complaints, whatever, as long as it keeps them on our side. No. No. Absolutely not. Well, yes, absolutely. Bit of a shame for them. But sometimes you need to break a few eggs or skulls. There are rules, though, even in the Isles. Rituals and rules. You need to follow them. Speak to Arctis and Dervenin, the High Priest at the Cylon Arden Sul. They can explain what needs to be done. And you've always got our man Haskell to call on for help. Faithful, like a good hound, that one. And he looks better in a suit. It's already started, but you might be able to stop it. We're making you into a leader that people can trust. Someone to look up to. Someone to blame. Once I'm gone, things usually get bad quickly. Lots of defections, lots of carnage, but with you at the helm, things will be different. This time, I'll beat him. I can't stand losing, and I don't mind cheating. Ta, come visit again, or I'll pluck out your eyes.
That's good to know. Bye.
Another sheep. I'm disappointed in your choice. You'll find mania to be a fickle friend. Interesting. Not many wish to hear about such things, but I would be glad to oblige. Becoming the Duke of Dementia requires passage through the ritual of accession. Specific guidelines set forth by Arden Sul himself. Seldom is the subject ever Wait a moment. Did you want to hear the history of the ritual? As it happened so many years ago, my lord Arden Sul suspected a traitor in his midst. Not wishing to find himself on the wrong end of a blade, he gathered his flock here in the Cylon. By poisoning the sacramental wine, Arden Sul was able to suppress any such conspiracy in one fell swoop. Yes, he then removed their hearts from their bodies and used his ancient scrying technique known as visceromancy to read their lifeblood. When Arden Sul couldn't divine the traitor's true nature in their hearts, he became distraught and took his own life in the same way. From that day on, the ritual of accession for the throne of Dementia was set. Very well. Spoken like a true son of the Demented. To become the ruler of Dementia, the current leader's heart must be cut out and brought to the altar of Arden Sul in the Cylon. Once this is done, I can pronounce the heart-bearer a duke or duchess. Then, all that is required is the blessing of our lord, Sheogorath.
What else can I help you with on this glorious day? Yes, Arden Sul. Doesn't the name simply roll wonderfully off the tongue? He was the sovereign of thought and a regnant artist. To call him a simple craftsman would not suffice. Know him as the artificer superior. Words dripped like honey from his tongue, and his songs were intoned with extraordinary verisimilitude. Had we been blessed with his constant presence, the Isles would be a maniac's paradise. An important part of our history, my friend. I would be glad to tell the tale if you have a moment. Arden Sul was perhaps the greatest duke to walk our land. Many years ago, he decided to hold a night of absolute indulgence, resplendent with dance, wine, and sex, to celebrate his fondness for his brethren. The green moat flowed like water in a stream as the revelers voraciously succumbed to its rapturous ways. But it was, as the bacchanal reached a crescendo, the people began to clutch their chests as their very hearts exploded. The green moat had taken its toll. The ground stained a deep crimson as the sanguine liquid flowed from their lifeless bodies. To represent that night, when the ruler of Mania is to be replaced, he partakes of the green moat and allows his lifeblood to flow upon the altar. Certainly, when the ruler of Mania has decided it is time, he will choose a successor from his court. The successor is invited to a huge celebration, a night of hedonistic revelry, wine, song, and of course, green moat. During this, the exiting regent imbibes 3 doses of the potent drug. This causes his heart to burst, and his lifeblood flows from his body. The successor then gathers the drug-tainted blood and brings it to the altar of Arden Sul in the Sacellum. Once this is done, I will proclaim the successor a duke or duchess. Then Sheogorath gives his blessing, and the cycle is completed.
You're back! How nice for you! Does that mean you've made a decision? Or are you lost? Suicidal? Just let me know. A friendly word of warning before you choose. Once you've decided which duke to replace, there's no turning back. One choice. No more. No less. Try not to do something stupid. So which is it? What will it be? Mania? Dementia? The suspense is killing me! Or you, if I have to keep waiting. I hate indecision. Or maybe I don't. Well, make up your mind, or I'll have your skin made into a hat. One of those arrow catchers. I love those hats. Ta, come visit again, or I'll pluck out your eyes.
How can I make your life easier? It's what I live for. It seems our Lord believes you are the key to stopping it. Perhaps he's right. He's had worse ideas. Did he tell you about the clowns? What a mess. He wishes you to gain the respect of the people, to be a leader once he is gone. It is an interesting concept. I fear it won't be long until he makes his presence known. Without Sheogorath on his throne, the realm is likely doomed. Again. Obviously, no matter which path you take, it ends in the death of either Syl or Théoden. Just remember not to deviate from the ritual's guidelines. One would hope you can do that. I offer you this. Remember who it is you're attempting to replace. You'll need to approach them in a manner to which they are not accustomed. Syl anticipates plots against her, so expect heavy resistance that may require a great deal of fighting and physical exertion. If you wish to replace Théoden, try a less direct approach that will involve cunning and subterfuge. He isn't likely to see you coming. If only we could speak more often.
Okay, so obviously I'm gonna do both ways. Now this choice, in my opinion, doesn't matter that much. There are some slight changes, and of course I wanna cover all of it. But first, I wanna go back to my tower and put some of my things in the chest.
It's...
Stay away from me. You've already...
You can't see me. You can't...
Speak quickly, mortal.
And we will continue this in the next episode, so if you liked this one, give it a like, dislike if you think it sucked, and see you next time. Thank you.